Welcome back to the show. This is Fever Originals 2.0. We're chatting up with Krishna about his songs, about his music, about his genius, man. This man can write and can create magic. A lot of people say you have the Midas touch. Whenever you do a particular track or collaborate with somebody, the track just blows off and just goes like.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, like, I just do my best, bro. I can't predict the outcome of any song.
Right.
But when a song comes to you for a feature or whatever, you just do your best.
Right.
You know? And as rappers, it's always that, because we have that in us.
Right.
That, you have to perform on a
Right.
track. Otherwise you can't. You will be letting it down. So.
Right.
So I feel like that's whatever's in your control is in your control. The outcome is never in your control.
But we were talking about this whole struggle phase and work that you put in. I don't want to, make it romanticize it. Oh, he struggled so much and all. Everybody struggles. Everybody goes through their own turmoil.
100%.
And, facing their demons. और बहुत सारे लोग struggle करके अपना एक mark बना देते हैं. But it's about being consistent and, constantly saying that चल यार, हो जाएगा. We were talking about the crazy lyrical flow that you have, but there was also a break in your musical career for some time.
Right.
And then you came back, and I think 2016 was that
2016,
track.
yeah.
Vyanjan. That was again the breakthrough track for you in 2016. Yeah. But the hiatus, the break that you took, how did you find the motivation to come back, bro? Because I know you were always into music, but what tough hota hai? When you've been trying things and sala yaar kaam hi nahi kar raha hai, kaam kar raha hai, kya ho raha hai?
Yeah, I think the toughest thing in my entire career would be I got signed. I dropped an album. When you drop an album as an artist, you have great expectations of what life is going to become.
Absolutely, man.
Right?
You visualized it already.
Yeah. Then you were like, oh, I'm finally signed. I'm finally going to drop an album.
Right.
And at that point, when you drop the album, and then it doesn't match your expectations, and you have to go back, which I would say that was the toughest. Was I dropped an album, I was on TV, did all of that, and then I had to go back to a regular job, and I feel like that is the toughest, because what do? You go to work and you say, oh, I used to be a rapper. What do you do? Like it's like that is
it's hard,
I think,
dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, like how do you deal with that? Do you say that? Do you not tell people what you used to do?
People know you now.
Right, and you expect that this will happen, that will happen, but you're like stuck doing something completely different, And I feel like that is the toughest. I would feel like for any artist, and but I'm fortunate enough that at that time after I finished my first album, whatever, I had that little break. I did whatever I needed to do. And I met a friend who encouraged me to go back into it. In terms of, my contract was ending. I was, going to be free. And he was like, why don't you just start your own label or do something like that, And I'm grateful that he did that, because that gave me motivation to. First, I kind of shrugged it off. I was like, no, bro, this doesn't work. In India, it doesn't work.
Right.
I've done it for so many years, nothing. But then he was like, no, it can work, right? And he's like, you should try it. And we did that. And I knew I had to come back with something. So that's when I made Vyanjan.
But bro, what I take from this story is the fact that 2 points that you mentioned. Ek to I did what I had to do. We want to know what you did.
Right.
Because everybody knows ki haan, ek success story, struggle thi. But what did you do when you were about to give up? What was your self-talk? Because a lot of us, me, you at some point of time in your life, और जो भी आपको देख रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं, it's very important that what did you tell yourself at that time? Because हाँ, ठीक है, he struggled, he's made a mark right now, everybody knows. But what did you tell yourself? What was that moment when you said, you know what? I'm going to give up. People ने emotion समझ लिया मैं क्या बोलने जा रहा था. But what did you tell yourself at that moment? What was that self-talk?
I feel like every time I've been in a situation where I think that this is it.
Right.
Like now I can't do it anymore. Or, I have had enough. Or I should just give up.
Right.
Something has always pulled me back. It's like these little signs that maybe if you don't stop right now, something can happen.
Umeed.
Yeah, umeed hai, but it comes in. I feel like it's like the universe talking to you. It's like they'll give you a slight glimmer of hope. and you'll follow the glimmer of hope. You're like, okay, maybe, I'm ready to give up, but I can see something there. Let me just try it. I have nothing to lose. Right. And I feel like this has happened to me a few times in my career, where I'm like, let me give it a shot. Let me just see, Let me do whatever I need to do. And you said, what I did, like, I've done like plenty of regular 9 to 5 jobs, Even while doing that, it was always that let me just see if I can do this on the side, maybe make it work, maybe, whatever. Find a way around it. And I think that's kept me going, not let my passion die.
Oh, very, very, very aspirational thing that you said, that, you look out for those signs. And look out karna bahut zaruri hai us samay. But also my second question of what I took from what you had said earlier was the fact that you come with baggage. You're Krishna, who has done it for so many years. 2006 से कर रहे हैं. आपका album 2013-2014 में drop हुआ था पहला album. आप signed थे. फिर उसके बाद to know that you've got to go back to work and all of that. And then, like you said, you've got to go to a regular job. Doing a regular job is not bad, but you're an artist. In उस लिहाज से हम बोल रहे हैं कि 9 to 5 is great. People underestimate the power of a routine also. I'm just saying this, just FYI. But as an artist, you're going back to that job. You're coming with the baggage that you've already done it for so many years. Wasn't there a moment where like, अरे यार इतना कर चुका हूँ यार, अभी क्या हो रहा है?
मेरे को तो लगता है वो अभी भी है. I feel like I call it like artistic PTSD. होता है ना, post traumatic stress disorder. मेरे को लगता है वो you carry that baggage throughout. Like अभी भी मेरे को, like sometimes I don't believe that people are there to see me, because मेरे को इतने साल का वो, like that habit of going out and not having, a crowd or not having this, I feel like that's still, like it still affects me to this day. I'm surprised every time I go on stage,
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, so I feel like that stays with you. I don't think that goes away. I mean, it might go away one day, but it hasn't till now.
Bro, you realize these are very honest revelations in artists you're making, and it's going to give a lot of people inspiration and hope to say that, boss, I don't want to give up. If this man I see doing what he does and dropping this EP, which has got so many million streams and breaking records, I think this is a lot of hope for a lot of people.
I feel like just having the perseverance, or even thinking that you can stick to this even in the toughest times, I think that is what carries you. And there are plenty of artists that have had to probably leave or haven't fulfilled their dreams. But if you can keep it alive somehow, I feel like it's worth it.
You know what he's saying? Simple words mein, far from over, man. Absolutely far from freaking over. This is one of the most amazing conversations, chats I've had with an artist, because to bare your soul, to be candid, to be honest enough about not just the success that you have, but also the fact that, hey man, it's a process. Everything that shines isn't really gold, but you really work hard to be there. He goes after 24 karat, that I know, ain't no Bugs Bunny buddy. But yeah, you also have Neeraj Chopra's Focus Man.
Yeah.
Dude, what a line, dude. Haryana ke Londe, Neeraj Chopra. Oh dude, Pratna. Tell me about that line before I go ahead with the next track.
Oh, it was just, it was insane that I wrote that song, obviously, when before the whole, he just won a gold again at that National Athletic Championship. And I did not write that like a day before, because it came out a day after or something, right?
हाँ, उसी दौरान हुआ
yeah,
था.
But sometimes it's crazy that you write these things and they just happen at that same exact time, And I had written it from the perspective that I already know who he is, he'd won a gold or whatever, and I wrote it like that. And then when I dropped the song, it was just at that time. So I felt like it just fitted in so well at that time,
Right.
And I'm also I live in Gurgaon, which is also Haryana.
देखा हमने आपके सीधे मौत के collaboration में. गुड़गांव की बात हुई थी वहाँ पे.
Yes, G-Town.
Yeah.
So I'm from there, and I felt like ये डालते हैं एक representing.
Yeah.
And then it just worked out, and people are like, oh, like this has just happened,
I'm telling you, somehow, like what you said, if you keep doing it, the universe shows you signs, और वो automatically align हो जाता है आपके लिए.
100%.
Bro, tell me about any particular track that you want to talk in this EP. You also did one very interesting international collaboration on this EP, right?
On this EP?
Yeah.
There's no international collaboration.
Are you planning to do any international collaboration?
Oh, are you talking about the Some of Us with A.R. Paisley?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So A.R. Paisley is actually Indian, but he's from Canada.
Right.
I really like
actually
his
same hai. Indian Canadian same hai.
So he's quite his music is amazing. I feel like he's a little underappreciated because he raps in English. तो लोगों को समझ नहीं आती. He's worked with like Sidhu Moosewala, etc. in the past. And I feel like that hook, like it just fit right into that sort of, you know, where I wanted to go with the. So some of us is more the like the even the EP cover is actually for that track for some of us, right? And uska jo hook hai and everything, it just fit right into what I wanted there, you know. And usne he sent that to me and I thought it was like perfect. And he didn't actually mean it like some info on the track. I don't think he meant it to be the hook.
Right.
But
he just sent it to you.
He just sent it as a verse. He thought that ye verse ban jayega or whatever. But I was like, no, this like works as a hook. So I just, you know, placed it as a hook and then an extra verse for him at the end.
Well, we're super stoked about all the music that you're going to create in the future for all of us and just for everybody. But if you had to name two, I know there may be many, but two Indian artists, hip-hop artists that you think are paving the way like you, who would they be? Like, aapke zehn mein?
No, like for me, like some of my like top artists are like obviously Divine, Raftar, Anjum Tala Yunus. I'm talking about the Desi scene.
Right.
Of course, Seedhe Maut, Delhi se there's Raval, Youngster. I think the Delhi scene is popping as well.
And how, dude?
Quite
like,
a bit.
Crazy.
Yeah, and ऐसे बहुत हैं. I feel like now it's I see so many coming up that I feel like it's a little hard to keep track always now.
Yeah.
You know, which is good. Which is what we were talking about earlier as
Right.
well. You know, you need that. Like so many artists that, you know, you need to discover them, you know.
Right.
It's like that, and I like that. And yeah, these are I'm sure there are more, but I like top of my head, like
Right.
some of them are.
Because your story is very inspiring. The music that you write also requires a lot of hard work and patience. A lot of upcoming artists, budding artists, like you said, it's a new generation, the Gen Zs. Also, somewhere I noticed, I'm not saying this is wrong or right, I don't know because I'm a millennial, so we've seen the crazy, schedules, the work. We also somewhere are a part of the generation where we feel quick gratification hona chahiye.
Right.
Immediately result milna chahiye, and including me sometimes.
Right.
But the generation now also wants it really fast because that's how times are. You can't blame anyone for it. That's how they've grown up.
I think attention spans are getting smaller.
Yeah, so how anything that you'd like to say to them, because there are a lot of fans who are inspired by you and want to do what you do. So anything that you'd like to tell them?
You know how they say Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
It's that's what it is, and I feel like no matter what happens, how much technology, attention span, whatever format of things getting smaller, songs have become smaller. You know, it's reliant on reels. All of this is fine, but at the end of the day, whatever you do, you know, it should leave an impact, and that impact doesn't come from fleeting fame or, you know, just doing something quickly and all of that. I feel that impact and legacy comes from time put in. Right? It's built over time, and I feel like at the end of the day you want to look back at whatever you've done and be proud of it and feel like you achieved at least most of what you wanted, right? And I don't think that can ever happen quickly.
Yeah, I love what you said. Rome wasn't built in a day, man. It takes a lot of hours and sweat, blood and tears. We don't have to always make it like, oh my god, itna karna padega aapko, but work smartly, stay long enough. I think what I've also understood with life is you've got to play the game long enough
100%
to understand the game and
right
change it.
time, right place, and you don't know when that time is. It's not like it can be tomorrow, it could be after 5 years, who knows. But you still have to be there, right?
Our man's been in the game since 2006, 2010, he created a dent in the universe with that YouTube video of his. 2014, he drops an album. A big dent in the universe again for him. Comes back in 2016, 2023. Far from over, man. Far from freaking over. This is KRSNA for you on Fever Originals 2.0. One of the best episodes I've had on the show. Man, seriously. I think towards the end of 2023, I'm having like the best conversations with people. Very, very heartfelt conversations, honest ones. And this is by far one of the best I've had this year.
Thank you so much, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, bhai. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Sundaraya, Fever Originals 2.0, India's first original music countdown show. I'm going to sign off saying tata, bye-bye, ciao, ciao. I'll see you next weekend, same time, same place. Be awesome. Take care of your health. Stay at it. Stay positive. Be healthy. And hey, don't ever forget to stay original. My name is RJ Glenn. I'm signing off, man. Ciao.